Earlier today, I posted two links on my Facebook. These two links were to TV shows that featured memory stunts. This inspired me to do a quick update on my memory challenge. The first show was an American show called Little Big Shot, featuring a girl memorizing a deck of cards. And the second show was a Swedish talent show featuring Yanjaa memorizing numbers. And this is just so amazing, so awesome to see. And if you do not know how it's done, it's going to look like magic to you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how they could have performed these amazing feats. Let's start with Yanjaa. If you follow this channel, you've heard me talk about her before. I'm a big fan. She's an amazing mental athlete. And what she did in this show was she had a juror write down 30 numbers, and it was called out so that the host could write them down on the board you see in the background here. And then she got 30 seconds to memorize all of these numbers, and obviously she did. Let me tell you a secret to start this off. She did not need to look at this board. It was enough for her to hear the numbers being called out, because she can perform so much more than this. This was a walk in the park for her. None of these were memorized as numbers. Everything was translated into images. And these are actually the numbers from the show, and even though she's probably using some way more advanced system than I'm doing, this is how I would have done it if I was on that show. So the 17 is going to be translated into a dog, the 39 is going to be translated into a map, and 74 is a car. And I'm going to place these three images into my memory palace and say that I use my apartment for this one. I'm in my bed, and by my feet is a dog running around. He's looking at a map and trying to figure out where he parked his car. So instead of trying to memorize 6 digits, I have just one image for those entire ones. Same goes for the next one. I choose another location, maybe by the window I have a nun, and she's about to fly on a mat like Aladdin and to go to the local coffee shop to buy some coffee, and she's wondering if I want some. By the breakfast table we have a cat having a happy meal, but instead of the hamburger it's cold, and this cat's being really annoyed about this. By the front door there's a big ship coming in, but there's not a captain running the ship, but it's a chef with his chef hat on, and he's trying to run over a cockroach for some reason. And by the road leading up to my apartment, I have a girl, and she wants bigger lips, but the only tool she has is a big hammer, so she just rams her lip with the hammer, and they light up like a LED light. So instead of memorizing these 30 numbers, I have these 5 images. And if you followed my story, it's very likely that you can remember all of these numbers as well, but not as numbers, but as images. And then you just translate the images back onto numbers. So that's how you do it. And when it comes to Yanjaa, again, she didn't need to look at this board. She already knew them. It was so easy for her. She can easily do twice the amount in half of this time. I promise you. She's actually in the finals. I'm very glad. I really hope she'll win this. And then we have the young girl in the American show. She glances through a deck of cards, and I'm going to just briefly talk about how she does it. Again, everything is images, not cards. So the first card, this example, is going to be 2 diamonds, and this is for me a cat. Second card is going to be 3 of diamonds. To me this is a necktie. So far I have a cat wearing a necktie, and then I have the 10 of hearts, and this is an indoor rower. So I have a cat wearing a necktie on a rower. King of diamonds, this is Superman. He is holding a wine glass, 7 of diamonds, and with this glass he's playing ping pong. Okay, so what she did, she memorized this deck of cards, and it was dealt onto a poker table with 3 players. And you can do pretty much the same thing that I did earlier. The first card, the cat, is going to be dealt to the first player, so I know the first player has a cat. And the 3 of diamonds, I know the cat was wearing a necktie, so this is going to be dealt to the second player. Third player is going to get the rower. So I remember the cat on the rower wearing a necktie. And then if the host asked me the first card of the second player, I just go back and look at the first location. This was at my gym, and there was a cat, but it was wearing something. So the second image and the third one, okay, that's a necktie. And this is basically what she does with the entire deck of cards. By no means easy, but not as impossible as it might look at the first glance. Anyone can do this. I've been telling you guys from day one, anyone can just do these amazing things. Maybe not to the extent that Yanjaa and this young girl did them, but you can easily memorize the deck of cards and third numbers. Just give it a go. Good luck.